Everyone, and welcome back. Today we have a incredibly spicy list, and it is the Raise the Past combo deck using the card Raise the Past from the new set to combo with a lot of the stuff that it's been able to combo before in the past. You had to use like a Delnay and stuff like that in order to have it happen, but it is the kind of life gain cards along with the Starscape Cleric. This says whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. The idea is to have one of these 12 or multiple is a lot better, to have them on the battlefield as creatures enter the battlefield to gain a lot of life and then drain your opponent for a lot. So it can get quite crazy if you have two of these in play. Every creature that enters, this is going to deal 2 damage. Now if you do that with a mass quantity of creatures and say there's 2 clerics in play, now you're like multiplying that up a lot. And with only having to get to 20, oftentimes it happens pretty easily. And we've also had up to like 80, 90 triggers on the stack almost immediately at once. However, I will say this now, after kind of bringing in the deck, I did not make this deck list. This deck list was created by MTG Creative Combos. Their exact YouTube video link will be in the description. I think I'll have the Twitter picture where we saw it from kind of up on the screen now for you to kind of look at the deck list. So the idea is to profit off of our graveyard, as said in the tweet. So with that said, we'll talk about the final steps of the deck. So there is Hinterland Sanctifier. This is the card I forgot existed whenever I made my combo deck with the Vampire. This is definitely a card that I should be playing in that deck list, in which I will come back to later with this card in that deck. It is just a 1 mana. When a creature enters, we gain a life. Very crucial to that type of deck. And this one here does everything we want. We do a Lifecreed Duo that does the exact same thing. Creature enters battlefield, we gain a life. And then we have the Sadistic Pilgrim. This is whenever another creature you control enters, we gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So if there's like a massive board wipe that's not an exile effect, we can win that way as well after we put a ton of fodder on the board. There's also a game in which I intentionally block like a 9/8 with first strike to kill most of my creatures that my Raise the Past will be able to bring everything back. But yeah, Raise the Past itself says return all creature cards with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Every single creature in our deck is 2 or less, and everything in our deck is a creature. We don't play the enchantment that gains life because we don't necessarily require it. We just want to have all creatures if we can. And with early game, we use the things that put cards in the graveyard quickly are like a Gnawing Vermin. This card enters battlefield, mills a player for 2. That's us. And it's a pretty decent blocker, putting a -1/-1 on things, which is nice. So this technically has a little bit of reach and does shrink like a Heartfire hero down, so it doesn't necessarily beam us for a ton. And then we also have the Snarling Gorehound. This card is very cool, as everything with power 2 or less enters, it surveils. That is literally everything in our entire deck. So this is always going to be surveilling and putting extra creatures in our graveyard. And then the 2 big mill cards that we have to help us is the Archaeologist. Enters battlefield, mill 3 cards, put a non-creature, non-land card from among them in our hand, which is only Raise the Past. And Picklock Prankster is similar, where we mill 4 cards, and then we either put an instant sorcery or a fairy card, so it can either hit itself or Raise the Past. So these are our 2 big hits after we play kind of one of these 2 1-drops early, or even like the Sanctifier here first. But oftentimes you want to play the millers first because they actually provide you more value than the early game life game most likely will. So other than that, we're going to hop into the games. Hope you all enjoy it. Again, this deck was made by MTG Creative Combos. If you end up going over there, you've never seen their channel, they play a lot of combo decks. That's kind of their whole gimmick, as their name, Creative Combos. They play a lot of those. So, go enjoy the channel. Go check them out for sure. But with that said, we're going to play this deck. If you all enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. I know I didn't necessarily make this deck or get credit for it, but we are going to test it out today and see how well it can actually perform on the ladder in best of 1 ranked. My opponent goes first, and I think that's unfair, but we will keep. Ooh, blue what? Well, never mind. Maybe we're good. As long as this isn't control, I think we're good. Because like Raise the Past is going to be such a good card, but it does get significantly worse if this is just a counterspell deck, which that makes me think it's not, because I don't know what counterspell deck would be playing that, you know what I mean? This happens, we surveil, put that dog in the yard. This could be a smite, but I'll allow it. Could be a temporary lockdown too. Another surveil land. Not a surveil land, a tap land, I guess. Like, on one hand, I think this is Hottie Gem pile, but on the other, just like, they're not doing anything. Me. I mill. I mill. You mill. We all mill. Don't need no land right now. Then we'll pass. We're in there. We don't really care if these die per se. We just don't want them to get exiled. Getting exiled, bad. Dying, not the worst. Because they all come back. Oh, and Georgie. They all float down. Oh, it's Esper? What in the world? There's just like no way. Right? We have the life gain. We need the death gain in there. So there's no point in budging now. So we go to combat again. We're in. Here's 4. Then I'll just pass. Don't really feel like committing more. Okay. So if I was mono red, what's your plan of ever winning? Is my question. You know what I mean? Like they just haven't done anything. Like I understand, like I'm kind of competent. The point is like I could block well against the red decks and stuff like that and then bring it all back. But like what is their plan? Like I understand Mind Splice apparatus, but other than that, is it just like we're going to do nothing? Are you going to end my turn? Is that the plan? I'm sick of getting my turn ended, I can tell you that much. Card we'd like in the graveyard preferably. Combat. Ones. I don't know what's going on, man. Okay. No real I mean, I guess we do, right? If we hit a land, it'd be great. Because now if we hit an untapped land, we could play the Cleric and then play the Raise to the Past. The last thing I want to do is put anything on the board and get it Sunfall. That's kind of my fear. But, well, I guess we can wait one more turn. Be still. Okay, in turn. Okay. I'm already sick of the Mind Splice apparatus decks. Why are they only out to bully me? Like, I want every game to be 20 minutes. Sure. Now, to us, we don't care about that because the amount of life they have doesn't matter. Okay, this is pretty good. I don't think they're going to tap out by any means, but... same time, it'd be kind of cool if they did. You know, really tapping out for them is almost impossible. Every spell's so cheap. Yeah. That'd be a 2-mana draw 6. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Sure. So here's the cool thing. Their counterspell doesn't work. Unless they have a different counterspell, because they only have 1 blue mana available, unless it's negate, obviously, I guess. This one? One. Sure. That's fine by me, big dog. Well, you figured out 92. I got so many triggers on the stack. Oh boy. Well, We got there, team. That's a good game from us. There's still 83 more. Wow, creative combos. What a deck, my guy. Oh my. This is insane. This is so sick. What a cool deck. What a cool deck. All right, we go first. Honestly, I think most hands with Raise the Past in the hand is like almost an auto keep. Now that I've kind of played a game or two with it. Raise the Past, if you don't have it in your hand, you kind of have to do a little bit of awkward stuff. Not necessarily awkward. I don't want to say awkward's the word, even though it kind of is. It's just you can't mill as freely. Like Vermin, you don't really want to target yourself a ton, because if you do and you mill over Raise the Past, you're way less likely to find another copy, and it gets a little sketchy to do so. But now that we have a Raise the Past and we look like we're not against any hand disruption or counter magic, we just mill like crazy for it. And like anything like that, just in the graveyard, we do not care. Doubt there's any trades here, so we just swing out. And then so far we don't have the combo, but a Picklock Prankster can help us find it. Whenever a creature you control dies, this is gain life and this is gain life. We just need a drainer. There's an Audacity that's going to make this creature quite big. Sheltered by Ghost, still a possibility. They're going to draw first, though. Nothing in play is really Sheltered by Ghostable, I would say. But, like... the Vermin might just go. We can do Picklock Prankster, because if we hit another Raise the Past, we'll be happy that we blocked with the Vermin. We could at some point also hold back this because of Death Touch, but now they have the one enchantment on here, so this has First Strike. So it's not like that really matters that much either. What's up? What do we got? What do we got, King? One white mana and a dream, maybe. Okay, they select not to do anything. Oh yeah, it auto passes their turn. I forgot. Yeah, I'll just grab this Raise Past. And honestly, at this point, I'm firing it off. I'd like to just gain a lot of life, I guess. No, it's not the combo, and I'm not entirely sure if am I supposed to wait? You know, like what's the verdict on that? Do we just sit there and wait forever, or do I just let like a snarl do this, right? And now we have game actions. Honestly, I'll build a wall. I'd rather throw like all these in front of this with First Strike and everything. Also, they timed out, by the way, and they're immediately back. So I don't know if that was like an actual think tank and they time out, but either way, if they do all this damage my stuff and I get to block out, which I will, I'll just reanimate everything, because it'll just like work enough, kind of. This is only when it dies. Okay, sure. No life gain on this is actually kind of brutal. Oh boy. Prankster. Ain't nothing just like playing a creature and gaining 4 life, you know? Guess I'll do this. Yeah, sure. And then we pass. We wait. At 37 is pretty hard to just die, but we have 1, 2, 3, and when a creature dies, this happens. Sure. Blowing up their Audacity to draw a card. Yeah. can replay it back with this. So, I mean, like, it makes sense, right? Sure. Makes sense to put that on your lifelinker as well. Kind of just like, what are your cards, though? Yeah. This one? Okay. They get a draw, but now that loops over, right? So it's like, sure. These ones? Eventually we'll find it. I can mill myself a ton, but again, the raise to pass are so valuable. I just don't want to waste it, I guess. Maybe that's like a bad mentality to have. Maybe I'm supposed to be a bit more aggressive, but I'm unsure. But I also don't think I have many more fly. Well, I do actually. I have one. Why more flyers? I have one more flyer. Right now, there's no life gain. Again, a Shelter by Ghost could do it. That's a lot of damage on board, too. Yeah. Now here's the thing though. If they attack with everything, I will let everything go. No life gain here means that the Pilgrim will be incredibly good. But alright, 9-8. Yeah, I mean, now they could do something with the way new combat works, is they could assign all damage to one creature if they'd like, but it is automatically assigned to kill as many as possible and what it deems is more valuable. Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah, hit back. Wow. We're in there, I guess. 2. Sure. Honestly, one of the better reasons is just wait. This is like, at one hand, I was kind of like, I want to do raise to pass just to get it out of the way, but I guess like, I want everything. 65? I will mill myself. I will mill myself. I have 67 triggers to resolve. Please, step aside, brethren. All right. Oh, there went third raise to pass, so we're gonna have to figure this out. I can go. I can go. Hey, there you are. I'm honestly just wheeling for the other raise to pass. I know I shouldn't be doing this. All right, I'll leave this bat on top this time. Because I guess if I kick it, they do die. So it's like, whatever, right? Sure. Did you want to do that on my second main, though? So I could just do it? Obviously not. Can they do 89 damage? Or gain a ton? Sure. Having 2 flyers, very good here. Watch them temporary lockdown me, by the way. I mean, I guess it would exile all their stuff besides this as well, but then they would be left with a 2-1. We have one more raise to pass in the deck. Honestly, for convenience reasons, I like making my win conditions when I record. This is a weird thing for me. I like making my win conditions like the alternate arts, so they're way easier to spot, so I don't spend half my game time looking in my graveyard to make sure I counted right. Are there 3 or 4 in there? I don't know, Sonny. I need to look harder. Yeah. Uh-huh. Imagine staring at a 22 damage creature and it's only 1/4 of your health. Imagine staring at a very high life gaining creature and it's a lot of your health. Where? We one shot from here? I'm curious. I don't even care to block. At 29, I think they're dead. We can do this first. Oh, I should have waited. I mean, I guess if I hit a raise to pass, they lose. Right? Yeah. I don't care. Oh, will they let it happen? We're gonna start counting, team. We're gonna start counting, team. Get ready. Sure. This one? Alright. Oh, boy. This deck is absurd. We're definitely mulling that hand. I'll say there's gotta be better. So here's the thing. Do I keep the life gainer or do I keep the miller? Because I definitely keep the 3 lands. I think I keep the miller. The miller light, if you would. But Golgari, graveyard exile effects can be a thing. Not likely. So we'll play a little doggo, you know, a little dog. Okay. Mosswood. Innkeeper talent. Okay, maybe the combo deck. I know something about a combo deck. I think I want to give myself one more draw to land here, especially on a surveil. I'll just put that in the yard. Don't really need that around. I have to have a feeling this is just the kind of Verasket combo deck with the Innkeeper's talent. Haven't seen it in a while, but like, would not surprise me. All right, no anoint. That's good. Good news, team. Good news. That got raised from the past is actually pretty fine. We're in. Now, the only problem is we do, in fact, need to find the land. The land. The land. The lid. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, there they go. You don't need to read that card in my hand. It does nothing, I swear. We're in. We're vicious. I could play the creature, but I think I'm gonna do the rage bypass. Oh yeah, especially I gotta do the picklock. Sure. They're accelerating their mana base. Look at them go. Sweet, that's 4 cards. I don't think I have the drainer in there though. That's the only real problem. Yeah, there's no drainer in there. I mean, I can gain a lot of life. I guess I'm just gonna play these out. No. I don't know why I even looked at that land for a second. I definitely do not want it. Barrel that. They don't have deadly cover-up mana quite yet. I mean, they have deadly cover-up mana if they hit a land, but they don't have it to, like, exile. Sure. And they can kill this or whatever they need to do to figure it out. As long as I hit another one on these cards here, I'll be pretty happy. Okay. Well, I guess the token would have to... Oh, yes. Yep. 3. And they only have 2 in the yard, so deadly cover-up does not work. They have to be able to read the fact that if they need to attack with the Restless Cottage here and exile the card from my graveyard, but I feel like it's such a hard read. Unless they've seen it. They could just Gix command me and think that's enough, and then they lose on the spot. But I mean, they lose on the spot to a lot of things here. Like, doesn't really matter. This one. This is like a instant speed card in their deck that exiles my graveyard. Myself, I have raised the pass, so like I still mill myself. I guess I can kill my clerics. They exile there. Tear Asunder, a very good card. But it will not matter. They don't see the life gain triggers on the stack yet, but it is done and over. This game is finished. They realize that it's over whenever the clerics start dealing damage, as we have 33-ish more to go, and we take the game just like that. Very cool. Opponent goes first. We can gain life, or we can start milling. And with the raise the pass in our hand, I think milling is the best case scenario. We're in. I'm less in now because it's control. This is going to be a nightmare matchup. A nightmare matchup indeed. And they're probably going to have a temporary lockdown. That's probably why they're not budging at all here. If I had to guess. It's at least what I would do. Okay. Don't need another land, that's for sure. We're in. That's fine with me. It's in the yard now. No true mill card yet, which is a little tough. Okay, with that said, we find one. We're in. I mean, sometimes you gotta believe. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, sure. It seems like counter magic's out of the picture, to be honest. You didn't see that card. You didn't see nothing. You don't need to look at a thing, brother. Oh no, I would hate to be sunfalled. Not a tap land. How about? We're in. Brutal. I'm not gonna be able to not cancel. Play this thing, brother. Don't worry about me milling myself. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You don't. This resolves, right? What do you mean 4-mana counterspell? I really am hoping for a sunfall. Like, that's not even a joke. Okay, they died. This one. Broom. I love how fast it is on the stack. They're highlighting. They don't know. I don't blame anybody for not knowing, by the way. Because this is so much that goes on the stack immediately. Like, you have no idea. But yeah, the cleric wins. They're tapped out. So Arena, I'm pretty sure, is forcing them to stay. But yeah, we have all these triggers to resolve. Very cool. And just like that, we win again. This deck is super sick so far. I've only had like one loss, and it was to some random card you would never see. Like, I would probably never see the card played again. Oh, let's go. I mean, this is such a mill happy hand. And the two cards that do mill us here are ones that can actually grab the card that we need. So it's pretty good for us there. A brutal card to kind of draw, I guess. But let's do a little milling. Ooh, we hit. Sir, crack your Fable Passage. Yeah. I don't know why Court Jester and they're playing what if I know everything about this character from oh no, now I'm forgetting everything. It's Baldur's Gate, but Dungeons and Dragons, D&D. Holy cow, leave me alone, everybody. I don't want to talk to any of you ever again. I'm lying, of course. Oh. Okay. Oh. It's an Alpha Strike, it's fine. This is the Rakdos Joins Up combo deck. Pretty sure anyway. No? I mean, it has to be, right? What else could this be? Yeah, Torch will do it. Yeah, Torch will ruin my whole day. That's fine. Honestly, we just hope the Prankster hits 4 creatures. We want it to hit nothing else. And honestly, the creature's on the board. Sure. Okay. 4 creatures hit. That's pretty good. I don't like that this thing has flying while it's an enchantment. I think that's upsetting. You could stop having Torch the tower at any point. Torch the tower also very good against us. We have a lot of life to gain, but the problem is whenever I see this card, it's infinite damage, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Yeah, there it is. I don't know what in blue-red casts it for free though. I at least can't think of one. I don't think I've seen anything that does it. Yeah, keep casting charticles. A dog in here? I do. Well, they're a combo deck. I'm a combo deck. We both wheel and deal and pray. I would say if you got it, you got it. Like I can't really stop it. The problem is the Raise to Pass didn't do anything, right? But we'll see. We'll see what it is. There only 1 white mana? I thought it was 2 white mana. Yeah, never mind. That's boring. I was hoping it was some other blue-red card to do it, but I guess it's still just that one. Thankfully, I hit record. Sure, I guess. I'm not like super confident in this. Like, there's too many cards in my hand that I think I want to keep, but or that I want to play, but who knows? Maybe I'll find a black source off the top at some point. Yeah, I definitely think I'm still just on, like, let's just mill now plan. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is, like, we don't necessarily need to cast these at any point. We just need to do the combo. Come on. The blue-white control again. I mean, I guess so, right? Boom. Ooh, and we find the black mana. This is the weird thing about playing against control is you kind of have to give them a board that they want to kill or board wipe. You know what I mean? Like, we have to get them to tap out somehow. Now, without having the black mana, we were actually a little slow to this because we didn't quite do any of this. Or their Haughty Gym pile. What? I'm in danger, fellas. They'll have the counter spell. I can gain a lot of life. Oh, they're afraid of the counter deck. They won't even reanimate their thing. Interesting. Interesting game plan, brethren. This one. Counter this one. You have to have 3 steps ahead? No? Okay. This is the part where I was talking about, like, we just need to basically drain them out of the game and force them to interact or, like, overextend to an extent. Yeah, we'll mill ourselves. In life, lose life. I don't know if there's a card I need to be afraid of outside of a bounce thing. But yeah, I mean, this is a spot where they could have brought Haughty Gym back, but they refused to. I think they're trying to either hold up 3 steps ahead or they're trying to hold up the counter spell for 2 minutes. So if we hit a land, we'll definitely probably barrel it. With the eyeball, they'll probably end up just reanimating it instead and then holding it up. But it kind of depends if they found a land or not. The longer they wait, the worse off they are, because then they'll have to extend on a more awkward turn. A sleight of hand here, looking for another land, I would assume. Okay. Yeah, and this is the thing I'm talking about. They are just fully content on waiting here. Let's go to combat. Sure. For me, I'm fully content in waiting. No, first. 2 pretty good cards that I milled over. They've been holding up 3 steps ahead this entire time. So I'm just gonna assume that that's kind of where we're at and just get rid of that card. Now the thing is, like, even if they counter, like, the raise to pass, a lot of creatures is just lethal. And a second raise to pass feels so good. Tapland. Now here's the thing. Did they wait too long? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, yeah. All right, show me it. You've been holding it forever, so. Yep. The thing is, like, they have to. Now they're at 2. I guess the resolved creature doesn't do it, right? Because I swung the Sanctifier in. But I felt like I had to, you know? I don't think it was a thing I could not do, but... What's up, dude? Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. doing? Sure. So they have nothing. At least what it seems like. I don't think that's their play if they have like much of anything. They could have a get lost, I suppose. Oh, stuff like that just makes me freak out. All right. There's so many cards it could have been. Anything other than what it was, you know? Like, even just like a creature is threatening, but... Or like, yeah, that would have been honestly best, is one of these. Because then they couldn't kill my creatures, right? And then now there's a 3 steps ahead. So now it's like, oh, a Flood Maul? Oh, they're getting this to lethal, I guess. I mean, it is lethal. They just have to bounce my thing. Okay. Yeah. Right. Holy cow, brother. It's not that complicated. Put the spell on the stack. Oh my god, bro. Just like anything other than what you're doing. Please put the spell on the stack. Holy cow, man. Opponents first, but I think like I'll keep this. I get a lot of looks here, I think. Just fine with me. Oh, especially with a double dog. I will go for the vermin right now and then double dog after. Knowing that Landover does kind of suck a bit because I need the second white for Raise the Past, but like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. Go play Archaeologist, but not necessarily needed. I'm gonna go for dogs here. This is blue-black demons, I think. Mill that over, and now we just need to find a second white source. Nice spells, man. Yeah, that can hit me. I'll put you to 10. What the world? Well, we found a second white. Wow. Absurd. Absurdities. Oh, yeah, let's mill. Let's figure it out. Would you like to swing your Caustic Bronco again? I will keep that because that allows me to cast it immediately. I'd like to swing too. Caustic Bronco, just like a raw swing with a 7 mana spell in your deck, is insane. They're also dead next turn. Unless they have hand disrupt. Well, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, play it. Honestly, play it. Swing this again. Let's see it. Don't have 2 duresses. I so help me if you have 2 duresses. Sure. 7. Oh, I wanted it to be 7 so bad. But instead, it's not. You can mill. I don't really care. I'll grab the second Raise Bypass, I guess. Okay. It's a loop. Is it short by 1? No. Okay. I was like, is it somehow short by 1? I actually have to look. Why did it look so much closer? I was just like pretty confident it was there. Surveil? Those are all surveil. Yeah, it was close to not being lethal. Oh, I guess it is only like 14. I say 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't count itself, I guess. It was only 12. Yeah, sure. Good thing they hit that Unholy Annex off the bat or the Bronco, so that's cool. Opponents first have dog into this to maybe find a blue source. I mean, we get a couple looks to find the blue. Blood needed auras, I have to imagine. Dog. Dog. This is shelter by ghost for my 1/1 dog, so you can hit me. A very aggressive shelter by ghost, if so, but I mean, understandable. Sure. Yes. That only tells me that they have a second one, to be honest with you. Okay. This one. Second shelter by ghost. Oh, okay. Sure. You attacking? No. Alright. Oh, sick. Now we get to really start digging for stuff. Should I go for 4 or do I go for the creature instead? I guess I just go for... I think, honestly, I just go for the 4. I need to dig as hard as possible. And this is a 7. Plus, I can play this and this next turn. So it's like not really that big of a deal. Sure. Uh-huh. Now, this is the thing. As long as they don't start... I'm going to jinx it right now. As long as they don't start throwing ethereal armors everywhere, I'll be fine. But as soon as they start throwing ethereal armors around, then I'm going to be in a lot of trouble because of first strike. Uh-huh. Yeah. Sure. Like, I say, like, I don't... Sure. I just kind of want my dog back, you know what I'm saying? Why? Am I missing something? Why did they grow that one? You know how Death Touch works, right, team? To be fair, I would like to have hit a lot of other things other than that. This one. There's a life gainer. There's a second one. All right. It's coming together, team. But I do have to play this out. Play and go away. Pass. And we hold. 1, 2. Oh, they're 29 now. Holy. They have so much. And I've already used, like, there's already, I guess I didn't use it, but there's already a raised to pass in the yard. So it's not like I'm likely to find another. Oh, they're done though. All right. Could have held one of those so they can get another draw off the Enduring Innocence later, but I'm not going to tell them that. Know myself now. There's another life gainer in there. I have no idea if it's lethal. It should be close. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's not lethal, then I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it should be close. But these also aren't all life gain triggers, I don't think. Because some of them are bound to be this dog. But maybe it is. No. It's so close. Is my bird in the air attacking going to be the lethal? The bird in the air attacking is going to be lethal. Also, this is just look until we find a shelter by ghost. Or a raise the path, not shelter by ghost. I can't believe it wasn't lethal, dude. Of course it's by 1. Oh man. All right, so here we are. This is the deck we played today. Again, this deck was made not by me. It was made by MTG Creative Combos. The link to their channel will be below. Actually, I guess not a link to their channel. It's a link to their exact video that they made the deck. They'll obviously have a lot more insight and decisions, stuff like that. And immediately getting my hands on it, I kind of personally wanted to make one change, and it's more or less because of how much milling and stuff we do. It feels like very risky with Raise the Pass. Now this could be my lack of experience on the deck, because Gnawing Vermin doesn't really give us that option to choose or not, but this definitely seems like a founding card deck that we'd want to play. But the downside is we don't have a lot of spells outside of just the Picklock Prankster that we get more value than just that, and normally the Exile Instant Sorcery card is also not really there in this deck, so you'd have to change things, so it gets a little weird to add this. This is something I thought about. I just don't think it would actually be that great in this deck. Other thing, 24 lands, pretty good number, especially when we're milling. You kind of have to have a plethora of lands, so if you do hit a pocket early and you mill it over, for example, using like Picklock Prankster, if you cast it and you mill over 4 lands, well, that doesn't cut you down to, like, if we have 3 lands in hand, we mill 4, that's 7 lands. That doesn't cut us down to only having like 12 to 13 lands left. We still kind of have a healthy number in order to find that 4th land we need for Raise the Past. So that is something to think about whenever you're kind of playing these mill combos. You do actually have to have a decent chunk of lands in order to kind of function. But overall, the deck was sick. The deck was super cool. It actually worked a lot better. This is definitely a deck that you can kind of, this isn't a criticism towards the deck, but this is kind of a deck that you can like mindlessly play if you just want to kind of like jam some games and you're like, I don't really care if I win or lose. It's definitely a deck of that archetype that you could play. The other good side of it, outside of course, I always say outside of the lands, but that's always going to be the downside of most decks. Everything in here is a common or uncommon outside the card Raise the Pass, which is really cool. But yeah, I mean, all the rares are caught up in these lands. It's like, as much common and uncommons there are in the actual spells that we're casting and the limited amount of rares, the opposite is true on the lands. There's all these rares and only one uncommon. So it's definitely a very cool deck. I think most often decks like this can be found in a lot of different ways. You could just lean into, you have to have Orzhov, you have to have black and white in the deck, or it just doesn't work. But if you wanted to make a version in which you don't have the Archaeologist and the Picklock Prankster, it's just going to be a lot more volatile in terms of not wanting to work consistently. Because your only mills are going to be like the Vermin, the Dog, that are like really good. But outside of that, like these putting big plethora of cards in your graveyard just doesn't seem that plausible. Now, you don't need a ton. You just need a lot of life gainers and the Cleric. And there are a couple cards that could do that for you. But I think blue is just necessary enough in order to have it added in here. But with that said, that's all I really got on it. The deck was super fun, really cool. Our losses was kind of just like my really bad play, and I cut. And then, like I said, there was like a card that I've never even seen before that I lost to, but also like nobody's ever seen before, that just happened to be like a perfect counter to our deck in terms of like interacting with the graveyard that got played. And I was just like, I literally don't even remember what it was. That's how obscure it was, that I just kind of went, okay, you got it. Arena gave you like the perfect matchup. Sure. And I just moved on. So that was another one. And now outside of that, yeah, I don't know. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed regardless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.